Once upon a time, in a quiet African village, nestled amidst endless green fields and crisscrossed by a winding dirt road, lived a woman named Joyce. She was a 25-year-old, beautiful, tall African woman with smooth brown skin, smiley brown eyes that held a mix of pain and hope, and curly black hair tied neatly at the back. Her African dress, though simple, still bore the vibrant colors of her heritage. Yet, despite her striking appearance, Joyce was known by all for the wrong reasons. Her name was often spoken in hushed whispers, laden with disdain and pity. Life had not been kind to her. Abandoned as a child and left to fend for herself, had been forced into a life of survival, one that robbed her of dignity. She became the woman the villagers avoided, judged, and ridiculed, a pariah in their eyes. She lived in a small hut on the outskirts of the village, her isolation a stark reminder of the community's rejection. Despite this, Joyce carried herself with quiet strength. Beneath her tattered garments and weary smile lay a heart longing for redemption, a heart that yearned for acceptance and love. One day, a stranger named Tom arrived in the village. Tom, 25-year-old, tall, handsome African man, with warm brown skin, kind brown eyes, and a modern haircut that hinted at his worldly experiences. He wore a regal blue and gold African attire that contrasted sharply with the humble surroundings of the village. A trader by profession, Tom had spent years traveling across lands, seeking a place to call home. The simplicity of the village appealed to him, but what truly caught his attention was its most ostracized resident, Joyce. Tom was a man who saw beyond appearances and reputations. Where others saw shame, Tom saw humanity. Where others whispered scorn, he heard the silent cries of a soul longing to be understood. He was drawn to Joyce, not out of pity, but out of genuine curiosity and compassion. Tom began visiting Joyce's hut, bringing small tokens of kindness, fresh bread, clean water, and occasionally vibrant fabrics from his travels. At first, Joyce was wary. Years of exploitation had taught her to distrust men, and she struggled to understand Tom's intentions. But Tom was patient. He did not press her for anything in return. Instead, he offered his company, his laughter, and his stories of faraway places. Slowly, his steady presence began to chip away at the walls Joyce had built around her heart. The village was scandalized by Tom's actions. Whispers turned into open mockery as the villagers warned Tom against associating with Joyce. They declared her unworthy of respect, a stain on their community. Yet, Tom remained undeterred. His kindness towards Joyce was not a calculated defiance of the villagers' prejudices but a natural extension of his belief in her humanity. For Tom, the opinions of the narrow-minded held no weight. As weeks turned into months, Tom and Joyce grew closer. Tom saw in Joyce a resilience that inspired him and a warmth that defied the coldness of her circumstances. Joyce, in turn, began to trust Tom, finding solace in his unwavering faith in her. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to dream of a future where she was not defined by her past. Then came the day that stunned the entire village. Tom, standing under the ancient baobab tree in the heart of the village, announced his intention to marry Joyce. The villagers were aghast. Their warnings and mockery had fallen on deaf ears. Muse's declaration was met with shock and disdain, but it also stirred curiosity. How could a man of such stature and integrity choose to align himself with someone they had cast aside? The wedding was a modest affair, held beneath the baobab tree. The few villagers who attended came not to celebrate but to witness what they considered a spectacle. Joyce wore a simple but beautiful African dress, her curly hair adorned with small flowers, while Tom stood proudly by her side in his blue and gold attire. The ceremony was intimate, filled with quiet moments of joy and hope that transcended the judgmental stares of onlookers. After their union, Joyce and Tom began building a life together. Tom's unwavering love and support allowed Joyce to blossom in ways she never thought possible. The warmth of their relationship gradually began to melt the ice in the hearts of the villagers. They saw Joyce transform before their eyes, her once weary demeanor replaced by confidence and joy. It became impossible to ignore the strength and grace she exuded under Tom's care. Over time, the villagers started to question their own prejudices. The couple's happiness challenged their narrow views, forcing them to confront the harm their judgment had caused. Slowly, the whispers of scorn were replaced by nods of acknowledgement and eventually words of respect. Joyce, once the village outcast, became a symbol of redemption and the transformative power of love. Tom and Joyce's union stood as a testament to the idea that no one is beyond redemption, that every soul deserves a chance to heal and thrive.